I'm getting a little work done in my office today and thought that I would jump on here right quick and talk to you about something that I'm also like talking to myself about, which is, and I'll be working while we talk today, letting go, right? And surrendering to things that we can't control. So there's a lot that's been going on. I don't know about you, but it's been a good year, but it's been a year nonetheless of, twists and turns, highs and lows, more highs than lows, but just busy, busy and um, maybe disappointing in some ways. Honestly, things don't always go the way that we want them to go. And I think if we were honest, that happens to a lot of us a lot of the time. Um, and just letting go of things that no longer serve us. And I'm working on a couple things, multitasking and trying to be better about being tunnel vision in one area so that I can stop being a jack of all trades. I've talked to you about that before. It's kind of challenging because I have a myriad of ideas that pop in my head at any given time. And um, I just want to move on it. I get pulled in different directions and I think, oh, ultimately, I just want to be helpful. I just want to pursue purpose. And so I end up going down these various paths. But then, I talk about my mother all the time, and I've said it here before about squirreling, like the dog, when they see a squirrel, they're like squirrel, and then everything stops and they move in a different direction. But I'm also learning to give myself grace in the process. And that's when I thought about you all, about giving yourself grace. We're rounding the corner and we're heading into home to conclude this year. And I know that some of us have been able to check off quite a few things on our to-do list, while others of us are struggling because we didn't get as much accomplished as we wanted to get accomplished. And so we're being kind of hard on ourselves about that, about not meeting every objective or every goal that we outlined on our list at the beginning of the year. I think we all wear rose colored glasses in the beginning of the year. Like we all want to go above and beyond and do what we felt like we didn't get accomplished the year before. So we set out with all these resolutions or intentions or goals or objectives, and we feel like we are falling short. So I just want to say that you're not falling short. You're right where you're supposed to be. And everything takes time. I always talk to you about it being a journey and riding the waves, and sometimes in riding the waves, we just have to trust that everything is happening exactly when it's supposed to happen, exactly the way it's supposed to happen, right? As we go along our way. Sometimes I know that in the past I have thought to myself, like, God, I just wish that I was here, or I prayed a certain prayer. Y'all remember the Jabez prayer, right? Like enlarge my territory, all that. And I'm so grateful. And I have been grateful over the years that God didn't listen to me at that time because I was not ready for what enlarging my territory looked like. I could barely handle the things that were on my plate. And I see you all coming in. Um, thank you for joining. And so I just want to say that everything happens in its time. And what I want and what I'm going to strive to do in my effort to take care of myself, because stress kills. And even if you're not like letting outside stress, like the stress of a job or relationships, whether they be platonic or romantic, if you're not letting them stress you, you're probably letting you stress you. So there's many times that I sit in my bed at night and I think about all the things I need to do, all the things I didn't get done, things that I wish I could have done a different way or a different approach. And I stress myself. So this year, I'm not going to allow me to stress me either. And so I would highly suggest that you do the same thing, that you give yourself some grace, that you woosah, that you do things that you enjoy. I was a news junkie, and I have taken a humongous step away from, what is it called, legacy media, For those of you who have been following me for some time, you already know that I was an elected official for 15 years. So the politics and all that, I actually have a love for advocacy and following those things. But after November, it was no longer healthy for me to do so. So I had to take a step back. And so we have to learn to accept the things that we can't change and that we have no control over. All we can do is be responsible and accountable for ourselves. And even as I work on these projects and I receive feedback and things are not the way that I want them to be or received the way that I want them to be, I have to learn to accept those things. And if you're anything like me, I am a type A personality. I am driven and I am territorial over the things that I produce. And I have a vision for them and thoughts about how I want them to be received. And when it doesn't align, I've had to learn, especially over the years in this industry, in training and development, even in politics, even as an adjunct professor, that things won't always go the way that I envision or I would like. But I have to accept that. I have to accept and be flexible and receive the feedback and change things. And oftentimes, even though it wasn't the way that I originally thought it should go, it's still been successful. So I'm trying to wear my glasses and see what you guys are saying, but um oh, someone's watching from the John. There's a lot of people who like to watch from the John and do things in the John. Oprah, is that you? It might be. It might be. Um Am I Christian? Yes, I am Christian. Someone's joining from Latin America, but he doesn't know much English. That's okay. Did I vote for? I would probably think that was obvious if I said I'm since November, but that's just me. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. So anyway, I think that as I go into the end of the year and learn to surrender to the things that I can't change, I think it's imperative to know what that means. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender to me is more of acceptance of the fact that I'm not going to make myself sick or crazy running after something that I can't change or that I may not be meant to change. That may be a part of a process that has to make its way through. Sometimes you have to go through things in order to get past them. And so, I mean, that's all a part of the lessons of life. And some people are, changing careers or thinking about changing careers or not sure whether or not they should make any changes right now. And that's understandable. Some people are just trying to survive, living day to day. And in those areas, they really don't have the time or the energy or the wherewithal to step into things outside of what they have to do just to move day by day. And that's fine because the worries of the day for today are sufficient. That means that just focus on being present on what you have to deal with right in this moment in time. And you wait for tomorrow to try to address tomorrow's worries. And that's what I'm finding. I'm finding that as I get older and I reflect on things, things were never as dire in as I thought they were in the moment. And so I'm learning now that there is a peace and tranquility in just letting things be, letting things go, and riding with the ebb and flow of things, and not trying to march at the beat of anyone else's drum or be someone that I am not or meet someone else's expectations, but to be true to myself, be authentic, be genuine, not change who I am based on the circumstances that I'm in, to maintain my personhood, to maintain my outlook, to maintain my positivity and my perspective, and not to be changed by everything else that's going on in the outside world, to practice gratitude, to remain in the moment, to be thankful for the things that I do have and not focus on the things that I would like to have or I think that are missing, but to be grateful that I have everything that I need in this moment right now to do everything that I need to do to accomplish everything that I need to accomplish. And also to have a great support system in place to bounce ideas off of, to talk to about whatever shortcomings or shortfalls I may experience. But that's all a part of, I think, being okay with who you are and where you are in any given season of life, because I do believe that we these are all seasons that we go through, and there are going to be great seasons and there are going to be some not so great seasons. I think that's all a part of life. So as I'm working on flushing out some more programming and getting some more things in line and being and diligently trying to button up things towards the end of this year as we get closer and we get ready to go into holidays and family time and being pulled in different and levels, different places, and um, different you know just different times, different um, yeah, we'll just leave it with different times. I just wanted to jump on to say that there is something in the surrender for me. I'm hoping there's something in the surrender for you. Um, to not be so uptight, not to take yourself or life so seriously, even this, not to take this so seriously, to learn how to look on the bright side, to find the silver lining, to be mindful, to be present. All those things are important. And I think they become more important the older I get because the less time I have in front of me and the more time I have behind me. And the more things become crystallized, the more I get to realize what's really important to me and focusing on that and not sweating the small stuff, the insignificant, the trivial stuff. There will always be circumstances, situations, and people whose only goal is to try to knock you off of your place or to hate on where you are or to distract or obstruct your forward movement. And so, especially after having been in living a very public life and as an elected official, I have learned that I I can't give those things my energy because it's just not worth it in the long run. And ultimately, you're not going to make everyone happy all the time. And so to circle back to where people are in their professional lives as well as their personal lives, I want to encourage you to finish the year strong. But if there's some deadlines or some things that can be pushed to January that you realize now, no matter how hard you work, no matter what you do, things are going to not materialize in the time frame that you originally wanted them to happen. And that's happened to all of us. To accept the things you can't control. If something is stuck in feedback and you're waiting for feedback from another person or another department, or you need something from somewhere else to finish what you need to do and you're not getting it, losing your mind, chain smoking at a smoke break, being upset about it is not going to change the fact that your priorities may not be someone else's priorities, right? But it will put you in a position where now you're internalizing that stress, where you're in a bad mood, where you may be viewed as, not a team player or what have you, or not meeting your goals, but to communicate rather where you are, what you need, what you're waiting on, and to move on to something else to be productive in other areas while you wait. And I know that all sounds good. I was a person who was very anal and still am to a degree about my deadlines and what I needed to be able to continue to work to my standards. And I work to a standard of excellence. But again, I've seen so many times where people have internalized things and they've been sick and then they're no longer working there. And guess what? They're replaced in a matter of weeks or months. So it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it to hold on and be angry and be uptight all the time and not be happy. And you have time to make decisions about your life and where you want to go and changes that need to be made and possible future transitions. Um, but that needs to be done in a space where you can um, really sit back and assess with an open mind where you are and what you need and where you might go and where you've been, because you don't know where you're going if you don't really know where you come from or where you've been. So those are all things that I'm thinking about today as I'm working on projects about, not letting anyone or anything kill my joy. And that's a part of the surrender. When you surrender to it and you let things kind of go where they go, but you determine that in the process you're going to maintain you and your outlook, that you're going to remain open and curious, that you're going to remain, you're going to continue to live and be proactive and be productive, then those things don't bother you quite as much as when you're tunnel vision and singularly focused on one thing, or the thing that's bothering you, or the thing you can't believe, or the thing they had the audacity to do, or whatever. And I've been there. Trust, I have been there. I have some stories that I have told on this channel and that I will continue to tell. But in the middle of life, my goal is to be better and to do better. And the more you know, the more informed your decisions will be, and the more able you are and capable you are of making decisions that are going to be in ultimately in your best interest, because only you are the best person to look out for you. And I found that as well. So if I can leave you with anything, it is, as we round these corners and go through these last weeks of the year, is to live a little, breathe a lot, enjoy yourself, and let go. Let go of whatever your expectations were coming into the year. Let go of whatever you think you did not do or could not do. Let go of any disappointments. Let go of the challenges and the hurdles and the obstacles, and continue to move forward to the best of your ability. Continue to meet your own expectations of yourself, and continue to do the things that bring you joy and peace and contentment, and to take care of self. That's all I got for you today. Keep on watching. I'll be dropping something here shortly on the channel. Thanks for those of you who join me, and I'll see you in my next video.